Date, June 24, 1941. Location, Polish border. A blazing sun casts long shadows over a vast battlefield. Men in military uniforms move confidently, laughing and flaunting their weapons. In the distance, an imposing tank, the Wehrmacht's newest model, the Piska PFW-6 Tiger, slowly approaches. An enemy commander watches, laughing disdainfully. He leans to the side and says, "These iron monsters, they shall not pass." The vast expanse of the battlefield echoes with the roar of explosions and orders echoing through the air as the war machine advances with its metallic roar. But what they didn't know was that on that day, they were witnessing the beginning of their own end. The project began in 1937, when German engineers led by Ferdinand Porsche took turns creating sketches and models. The concept was audacious, a tank that resonated with power and protection, equipped with a powerful 88mm cannon. However, the challenges were immense. The first prototype, the VK-30-01, failed long before it reached the battlefield. Resistance among the Allies themselves was palpable. A wartime tank must be quietly powerful, critics said, casting doubt on the project's viability. Initial tests failed miserably. Components shattered like glass under pressure, prompting snide laughter among the rival powers. But in the deep despair of failure, no one imagined that this apparent failure carried the seed of victory. The Tiger's first appearance was in 1942, during the Battle of Kursk. The tank's roar echoed with the promise of destruction. However, reality was cruel. Captain's report said, "The Tiger flies like a brick through mud." The humiliation was clear. Such an imposing tank stuck in place became the target of scorn and contempt. The enemy troops, upon seeing the machine crumble, breathed a sigh of relief, and criticism intensified. It was a symbol of the selfishness and arrogance of those who believed that engineering alone could win the war. But one July afternoon, something unexpected happened. During an attack on a Russian defense line, the Tiger's true efficiency was revealed. In the Battle of Kharkov, the underlying engineering made all the difference. Men and machines began to operate as one. The steering was steady, the guns powerful. The command, in the heart of the battle, echoed, "Forward!" And with a deafening roar, the tanks began to deliver accurate strikes. The Allies noted the superior strength and protection of the armor. The tank became a symbol of resilience and ingenuity, shaping the psychology of war. Enemy laughter was gradually replaced by fear. "The Tiger is not a tank, it's a beast," a Soviet officer said in a secret report. The psychological impact intensified. The killing machine began to create an aura of respect that inspired terror. Reports of mass destruction spread. The sound of Tiger machine guns reverberated like thunder, deafening as cities turned to ash beneath their wheels. Enemies began to speak only in whispers, revering their relentless power. And so, perception turned from laughter to dread. With each battle, the Tiger's presence grew more terrifying. The cadence of the 8 guns sounded like uninterrupted thunder, the Allies reported in their diaries, as the massive destruction was tallied. With pinpoint precision, the tanks changed the course of battles. But the Tiger's power wasn't merely mechanical, it was philosophical. It represented a new paradigm of warfare where mass production and adaptation became paramount. It challenged old ideas of war, forcing generals to rethink freedom and tyranny, and the brutality of the war machine became the new form of pragmatism. German commanders declared, "Every Tiger that advances is a symbol of the inevitability of victory." The Allies faced this new era, where fear and respect for engineering completely changed the logic of war. The enemy commander's arrogant smile had now faded beneath the Tiger's shadow. He was among the first to laugh, now pale with the echo of his own lost laughter. It was no longer the iron soldiers, but the very essence of the machine that terrified. The sound of laughter mingled with the thunder of defeat. What had seemed like a curiosity at first had now become a relentless lesson in ingenuity and resilience. The thunder spoke, and the sky was never theirs again. In the silence of battle, the truth rang out. In war, what appears to be weakness can become a form of power that once awakened is never silenced. Here in the stretch of time and war remains the fundamental lesson of a tank that shattered like glass, but that ultimately shattered the enemy's arrogance in an even more lasting way.